Jungwon was 16 years old when he was told to lead ENHYPEN. The problem was he wasn't ready. He had just spent months on a survival show convincing himself he would never debut. Then, out of nowhere, he was put in charge of 6 other guys. 5 of them were older than him. When the company announced it on camera, Jungwon straight up told everyone he didn't feel responsible yet, but he would try to find it. That is a crazy amount of pressure to drop on a teenager. The night before the announcement, the oldest member, Hee-sung, pulled him aside. Hee-sung could have been the leader himself, but he said no. He knew if the oldest guy is the boss, the younger ones get scared to speak up. But Hee-sung also knew leadership is heavy, so he gave Jungwon a blunt piece of advice. He told him to fake it. If you know a little, act like you know a lot so the group trusts you. That is a heavy thing to drop on a kid right before he has to go to sleep. Most K-pop groups train together for years before debuting. And ENHYPEN didn't have that time. They met on a TV show and were thrown straight to work. Jungwon could easily tell when 2 members were mad at each other but actually walking up to older kids and telling them to fix it. He couldn't do it. He said it was just his personality. He was shy. He had to learn how to deal with grown-up arguments while he was still basically a child. To make it work, the group made a rule: keep personal problems at home and only focus on work when they are on set. This sounds smart, but it hurt Jungwon. It meant he had to live 2 lives. On camera, he was the calm leader. Behind closed doors, he was so stressed out he could only vent to Haesung. He would talk through his anxiety with Haesung, wipe his face, and go back to the group acting like everything was perfect. The better he acted, the more they relied on him, which just made him more scared of messing up. During the survival show, RM from BTS told the trainees a good leader doesn't drag people from the front, they push from behind. It took Jungwon a while to actually understand what that meant. A good example is when Sunghoon got sick and couldn't host a music show. Jungwon did the job for him. He highlighted his script like crazy to prepare. But when it was over, he didn't brag. He just said he finally realized how hard Sunghoon's job was, and he was going to support him more. He stopped focusing on himself and started focusing on his team. By the time ENHYPEN finished their big world tour in 2025, Jungwon was 21. He stood on stage and admitted he spent years faking his confidence. He figured it out in the end. But when you look back at the whole story, the most messed up part isn't how he handled it. It's that the K-pop industry thought it was totally fine to give a 16-year-old a job meant for an adult, tell him to pretend he knows what he's doing, and just hope he doesn't break.